Today, I'm here to scientifically interpret dreams for everyone. We have selected 4 dreams that almost everyone has had and even had many times. Being followed or threatened by a bad person, dreaming of falling from a high place, repeatedly dreaming the same dream, and dreaming of having superpowers.
I have never done it.
Not a single one? Then, that might be a dream I often have. I think others often have this dream too. Without further ado, let's get straight to the point. The first one, dreaming of being followed or threatened by a bad person. The most notable feature of this type of dream is that you are not clear about the motive of the person chasing or threatening you. They just pursue you without reason or purpose. Also, in the dream, if you try to see their face clearly, there are 2 possibilities. Either no matter how hard you try, you can't see their face clearly, or you find that the person chasing you looks exactly like you. Dreams like this are directly related to multiple personalities. Don't think of multiple personalities as a psychological disorder. In fact, all of us have multiple personalities, and some people even have dozens or hundreds.
I don't think this can be considered a disease, right?
For people like us who are normal, most of the time only one personality dominates our body. However, for those defined as having a disorder, they are often dominated by their dark personality. What's even more incredible is that some people's personalities can deviate quite drastically, such as having different nationalities, different professions, different age groups, or even different genders and different species. According to the descriptions of individuals with multiple personalities, when one personality takes control of the body, the other personalities seem to be in another world or space. Therefore, some people imagine that the phenomenon of multiple personalities is a manifestation of oneself intersecting in multiple parallel universes. Of course, this is just an interesting fantasy. To be honest, the reason we are related to multiple personalities is that the person chasing or threatening us is actually our dark personality. In the dream, which is an indescribable space, your personalities meet here and hope to know each other, but your main personality does not want this contact, thus creating such a dream.
One person is chasing, one person is fleeing.
Yes, the second type is dreaming of falling from a high place. When you had this dream as a child, your parents would tell you that it means you're growing. However, later on, I found that in my 20s, I was still having this kind of dream. Although I hoped I could grow a bit taller, this explanation for the dream was clearly unreasonable. The key to unraveling this type of dream lies in the feeling of weightlessness during the fall in the dream. In fact, this kind of dream not only occurs while sleeping at night, but also, for example, many of us who are students have experienced this, which is...
Oh, I know this experience. It's when you're dozing off in class and suddenly your leg jerks.
Ah, that's right. Exactly this. Just as you're about to fall asleep, you dream of falling from a high place, and just before you hit the ground, your body suddenly jerks uncontrollably. In such a quiet classroom, it's really quite embarrassing. Actually, this phenomenon is called a hypnic jerk. Most of the time, it happens when you know you shouldn't be sleeping, but you fall asleep anyway, like when you're in class or in a meeting.
So, an interesting explanation is that our hypnic jerks come from the collective unconscious. Our human ancestors liked to stay in trees, for example, picking fruit, avoiding wild animals, or simply passing the time. And if at this moment our ancestors dozed off after all their muscles relaxed, there would be a risk of falling from the tree. After all, they were not prepared to sleep in the tree, so to avoid falling, the brain noticed that your muscles were becoming more and more relaxed. To prevent you from really falling from the tree, a sudden jolt would wake you up. It is precisely because of this collective unconscious that before the jolt, you would dream of yourself as if you were doing a freefall. The third one is repeatedly having the same dream, including but not limited to dreaming of the same person, the same object, or the same scene. These dreams are very easy for us to remember because they are indeed too strange. Compared to repeatedly dreaming of your own friends and family, it's even stranger to repeatedly dream of someone you've never met, someone you don't know, but who appears in your dreams for several consecutive days, even saying the same sentence and doing the same thing.
Have you ever had this kind of dream?
Yes, I have.
I haven't. Some faces are not visible, but most are from Xinjiang.
I dream of indescribable people I've never seen before, whose faces change constantly, which is very strange. As a result, many people are so scared after having such recurring dreams that they don't dare to sleep and need to seek help from a psychologist or dream interpreter for psychological counseling. When I was having these recurring dreams, there were times I was really scared to sleep. There is a theory that recurring dreams are related to childhood memories and deep memories. For example, before you can remember things, even though we've experienced so much and grown up, not being able to recall them doesn't mean we've definitely forgotten them. For instance, a hypnotist can, under hypnosis, uncover things you usually can't remember, or sometimes things you don't want to recall. Take, for example, some people can even recall their memories from the fetal stage, and these children can describe their memories from the fetal stage after they learn to speak.
I previously saw online that many pregnant women were talking about this kind of thing, where their children would tell them about events that actually happened when they were still in their mother's womb.
Yes, because a fetus has short-term memory after 20 weeks. So prenatal education is useful. Yes, prenatal education is useful. It can influence the child. When you have recurring dreams, the person or scene you've never seen before might really be something you experienced as a child. You just can't usually remember it. However, these memories are hidden deep in your brain, and the next day you might have a very strong impression of the dream. And when you realize you've dreamed of a place you've never been to or met a person you've never seen, you'll pay even more attention to it, so much so that you'll dream about it again the next night, and so on. The situation will become increasingly serious.
I wouldn't do that, but I would intentionally have those continuous dreams.
This belongs to lucid dreaming, dream creation. Your level is a bit higher. Lucid dreaming. The last type of dream is dreaming that you have superpowers, especially dreaming of flying. This type of dream is the most magical among all these dreams.
The human desire for flight has existed since ancient times, and it feels like something ingrained in our genes. However, humans have never been able to fly. Some believe that the human desire for flight is because it can bring us the simplest and most abundant joy. For example, many people enjoy extreme sports. Another mystical perspective suggests that we wish to overcome gravity and go further. Our genes, or rather our collective unconscious, are urging us to find a way to leave Earth. For example, in a series where we specifically taught everyone how to control their dreams, many people, upon realizing they were having a lucid dream, chose flying as their first option. This indicates that flying and free consciousness seem to have some kind of connection. And at this time, the dreamer will let themselves fly as high as they can, as far as they can, and even while flying, they won't consider whether they can come back later. Moreover, the feeling of weightlessness in the dream and the perspective of looking down at the earth are very realistic. Strangely, some people who have these dreams have never even been on a plane. Some psychologists explain it as a temporary separation of the soul and body, or a temporary separation of the dream body and the physical body. As for folk interpretations of such dreams, they are even more mysterious. Due to the subject matter, I won't go into detail here, but those interested can look it up themselves. If you're interested in other dreams, feel free to leave a comment and we will consider selecting some dreams to discuss with everyone.
Can you talk about the dreams I had? I remember 4 and you didn't mention any of them.